Guys, today we are covering inverse variation. Inverse variation is a specific relationship in which there is a constant product. Remember, direct variation was constant ratio. This is a constant product of x times y, which you will see written as just xy. The constant of variation is the variable k still, but in this instance, it is equal to x times y, and it is not the same as slope. Inverse variation equations are written in the form of y equals k over x. So this is where the x is in the denominator. Now let's work a couple of examples. So identify the constant of the ordered pairs below. To identify the constant, remember that the k is equal to x times y. So when we have these ordered pairs, to find the constant, we do x times y, which means I'm doing 1 times 20. So therefore, my k equals 20. So that is part 1. Part 2 is where we are writing the equation. Remember that the equation is in the form of y equals kx. So once I know what the k is, I just plug it into the formula. The eraser's on the end, Kimberly. Y over kx. So my equation is y equals 20 over x. And that is my inverse variation equation. Okay, next example, number 4. Well, actually, number 4 is just like number 1. We can skip that. Let's go to the table of values. We'll look at number 6. So this is where we're given the table of values. So again, we find what k equals, which means I'm doing x times y. It labels what's the x and what's the y here. So I'm going to be doing negative 0.5 times 12, which is the same as 1/2. So what's half of 12? That is 6. So therefore, that's a negative 12. Pay attention to those signs so we simplify correctly. So x equals 6. So there's my constant. Now we write our equation. Y equals 6 over x. There we go. All right, now we're going to identify equations. So we're going to determine if it's an inverse variation equation. Remember, the inverse variation equation is in the form of y equals k over x. And if it's a yes, then we have to identify the constant of variation. And remember, that is k equals x times y. So when I'm looking at this, let's look at number 9. First off, we want to get it in this form. So that means we have to solve for y. Y is not by itself here. So in order to get y by itself, what is connected with it? The x. How? By multiplication. How do I undo multiplication? We divide by x on both sides. So we have y equals negative 14 over x. Does it look like y over kx? Yep. So therefore, this is a yes. It is an inverse, and my k is negative 14. Next. Well, when I'm looking at this, I've got an x in the denominator. So it should be yes, but it's with the y. The y is not by itself right now. I have to multiply by x on both sides, which then cancels, and we have y equals negative 6x. This is actually a direct variation because it's in the form of y equals kx. So this is a no. And next page. Well, bear with me for just a second. Number 14. Again, the y is not by itself yet. So I have to divide by -4 to both sides. Well, if I'm dividing by -4 to both sides, that means this -4 is going to end up in the denominator, because I could actually think about it as might be easier to understand if I multiply by 1 over -4 on both sides. Because if I multiply by 1 over -4 on both sides, that means this is going to end up as 20 over -4x equals y, because these cancel. Well, I can simplify this, because 20 divided by -4 equals -5 over x equals y. Oh, this looks like inverse variation form. So therefore, this is a yes, and my k equals -5. Next. Now we are looking for the missing values, okay? So when we're doing this, remember that this is, in order to work this, you set up to where you have x times y equals x times y. So you set the products equal to one another. So we had the ordered pairs, so I'm going to be doing 12 times 14 equals -24 times y, which 12 times 14, that's 168, equals -24y. I solve my equation. So I'm going to divide by -24 on both sides, and we get that -7 equals y. We're just solving the equation. When we're looking at 19, it doesn't give us to us as the ordered pairs, so go ahead and write them as ordered pairs. If y equals 9 when x equals -6, so that's going to give me the ordered pair -6, 9. We're wanting to find x, so I put in an x for that, when y equals 3. Again, it's the products equal to the product, so I'm going to have -6 times 9 equals x times 3, which gives me -54 equals 3x. Divide by 3 to get x by itself. And we end up with -18 equals x, which is my missing value. Okay, I'll do a video for the graphing next. Finish this section. Have a great day.